Welcome to my Atari ST nostalgia trip, and welcome to the final video in my Bracy Weather Bitmap Brothers tour, featuring a game that was released after we as a family back in the day actually had replaced our trusty Atari ST with a 386 PC in 1992. Yep, it's the Chaos Engine from 1993, and like Magic Pockets, I have never ever played this game. So, will I enjoy this game as much as I did Magic Pockets? I sure hope so, and there is only one way to find out, so let's get going. Yes, and while the intro is playing, we are shown the background story of the game. And the background story, also if you read it from the box, it sounds kind of promising, even if my experiences with background stories for games is not that good, to be honest. But for some reason I feel the background story of this one actually fits the game quite well. And look at that, the intro of this game looks so good. I mean, the guy who did the graphics for this one also did the graphics for Speedball 2, I think. And he really was very talented in using the... I mean, sort of circumventing the limitations of the color palette. While the intro also introduces us to the characters, the 6 characters you can play. Some of which are all-rounders and just some of which are really strong, and the other ones are sort of more fast and intelligent, so you can sort of choose the character you want according to the strategy you want to do in the game. Yeah, and by this time we probably got used to Bitmap Brothers intros looking really good. And is this the best looking Bitmap Brothers intro? I think it very well might be, to be honest. And I'm really sorry I'm talking over the title music. I mean, back in the day, those digitized intros with this kind of graphics, they were the absolute bomb. And of course the sample rate and noise floor, yeah, they haven't aged that well, to be honest. But at the same time, I have to admit, we are now living in a time where we are made to pay extra for bit depths and sample rates that we really don't need. So I'm doubtful if we are actually that much better off today. But that's a whole lot of discussion. We should be playing a game here, so after the intro finishes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And to be honest, also the sampling feels a bit off, the timing. It may be just me, but it feels like the timing of the sampling was a little bit off there in the intro. And of course we get to the main menu, the options screen, which only selects us, gives us 2 options. One is a one-player game with a CPU to accompany me, a computer player to help me out, or you can go for a 2-player game, and yes, in this case the 2-player game is a 2-player team, which I like, but I'm just going for a one-player game, and I'm going to start a new game because I don't have any of the passwords, because this game had the same password system that the other games had as a sort of replacement for save games. And I get to select my player from the 6 on the left, and I can go for the Navi, the Thug, who are the strongest ones in the game. I can go for the Intelligent Preacher, I can go for the Gentleman, I can go for the Mercenary, who looks kind of psycho. He looks more like a welder, to be honest. And the Brigand, but I'm going for the Navi, because he's really strong. And I think he also has quite a strong weapon. Come on. Yes. And I can select my teammate, who of course cannot be the same guy as me. And since I will probably die a lot in this game, I am actually going to go for the Preacher, so he can give me the last sacraments every time I die. Will it be of any help? Who knows? But yeah, even this options graphics, they look so nice. And it's going to load the first world of the first level, which is the forest. And here we are in top-down view. And God, even in the gameplay, the graphics look really nice. They were so creative in... Oh, where am I? That wasn't very good. They were so creative in using the limited color palette and still making stuff look good. This graphics guy was really talented. And of course I have to dodge the enemies and especially dodge their bullets. Wow. Well, while the Preacher seems to be going mostly for the money. So I guess he's one of those American TV preachers. Oh. But he's also killing off enemies for me, so he's actually quite smart. And he has a very special gun. Stop stealing my money, you preacher. I guess the money he collects is sort of going to the budget as a team. At least I hope so, otherwise it would be really annoying that computer AI would just basically steal any money I had for upgrades. And I will also say, I am playing this game actually with, it's a cracked version that gives me the option to add extra life and extra credits by pressing the help and undo buttons. Which I'm going to do because they are sort of bound to play by. And while I'm pressing here, nothing really happens, but I think after you die, it sort of adds to the lives. Let's see if the cheats work. I will probably die. Well, I was going to say, I will probably die soon. Here I am. So it says get ready, and now I have 71 lives instead of 2. How about that? So the cheat seems to work, which is good because I want to be able to explore the game a little bit. But I probably should be a little bit more careful in exploring the levels that I was. Oh, leave me alone. Oh. And that enemy fire actually carries quite far. So, and I lost a coin. Oh, that seems to be powerful. Yeah, that was up. And again, I should be dodging the bullets instead of going right for them. So this is not as much just an arcade shooter. It's a sort of top-down shooter adventure-like game, I guess. It is also quite a silent game, just like Magic Pockets was. It was a choice of the Bitmap brothers made. So there's no in-game music, there's no digital sound effects, of course, probably because they were focusing on graphical performance completely. Yeah, which I guess is a choice you can make, but it makes the game very, very silent, because now all you can hear is my talking and some clicking of my joystick micro switches. Did I kill that guy? Yes, I did, and I'm finally able to collect a coin. At least the preacher is sort of helping me out. He's not just stealing my money. And as we can see, there's also a puzzle element to the game. There's keys there. I think here was also something. Oh yeah, lots of goodies. I remember this from my test run. And all the stupid enemies. Oh, that was something that killed them all. I could have just grabbed that. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this game yet. And oh, will you stop killing me? It's... And yes, I know, I'm a really horrible soldier. I mean, instead of taking cover when enemies shoot at me, I just start an argument with them. Which is not the most effective way of surviving a war, I guess. So, which also, yeah, it shows that I need the extra lives a lot. And again, this was not very smart. We are sort of working together here. And the first world is kind of relatively easy. I think if I took a little bit more care, I could actually have finished it without dying. But I'm not taking care, as you just saw. So, World 1, Level 2, the Mud Rivers. Okay. And at least is also, it wants me to get ready, and it waits for me to press a button to actually get thrown into the battle. Unlike many other games that just throw you straight into the action where you're not paying attention yet and you immediately lose a life. So I should, yeah, exactly. I should take cover a bit more and... Oh. And my preacher seems to be helping me quite well, actually. So well done, Bitmap brothers. You sort of got that right. Of course, when I go to the front too much, I should be dodging those bullets. Not. Oh, that was a really big mistake. So I can kill enemies by touching them, but that's probably not the best way to go. Oh, the scrolling is actually quite smooth. I like, and of course I'm dying. Because I was looking at the background to sort of judge how smooth the scrolling was, and just when I was about to conclude that it is actually quite smooth. It also meant at that time the scrolling was a lot smoother than my gameplay, because I was making stupid mistakes. I should be a bit more careful. Oh, I should be a bit more careful! Yeah, I'm making stupid mistakes here. I need those extra lives. And I need those keys to cross the bridge. And I don't know what this yin yang does. And look, we have frogs just like in Magic Pockets. These ones are a bit more aggressive though. In Magic... Oh, come on. In Magic Pockets they were just sticking their tongue out most of the time. We have very aggressive weapons here. That was not a smart thing to do. And there's some very, very big weapon there. Can I actually destroy it from here? I probably should be able to. Exactly. Yeah, and I must say, yeah, the game is a lot silent, and when there are sound effects, it is sort of very quiet. And the sound effects are a bit... I think they are the only really disappointing part of this game. But having said that, I must say I'm really enjoying myself here. It's I don't know, because it plays kind of smooth. It's oh, I got distracted by the goodies and I ran straight into an enemy. You idiot. I guess the right tactic, even if I have a really strong weapon, is sort of fall back in time and shoot at them from a distance, together with my trusty preaching teammate. Really? Oh, you have to be quite accurate apparently. Lucky for me those frogs aren't that strong. And yeah, there is sort of a puzzle element to the game. I can tell that this level is a bit more difficult to navigate than the previous one. So there's some really, really nice progressive difficulty here, at least for now. Yeah, I'm glad I got those extra lives, because I should not be running into the screens like that. I should be be a bit more careful and actually look for enemies and immediately stop and fire, because... Yeah, okay. I am sorry for my poor gameplay. But man, this one... Let's kill that guy. Oh. Really? How many of you are there? Oh, that one hurt me. Also, this is a dead end, so I hope I don't get lost in this level. It can be a bit tricky. And I also don't know if you go somewhere and all enemies start to spawn, if that means you are actually going in the right direction, because the enemy is trying to sort of withhold you from achieving your goal, or they just randomly spawn always when you get to that part of the level. But where... Ooh, stupid frog, leave me alone. Where do I have to go? Oh, and again, I just run straight into an enemy. It's... Yeah, I'm such an idiot. At least these frogs don't stick their tongue out. And oh, that was a nice weapon. For such a destructive weapon, it sounded surprisingly harmless. Just. But I should shut up about the sound effects. It's... Oh, wait, where was I going? Was I going here? I forgot. Well, there's at least a key here, so. And I have no idea what I changed in the level, but every time I get a key, yeah, some bridge gets expanded, or well, not over here anyways. So where then? Because yeah, I can't jump in this game. So for being such a big warrior, he's surprisingly bad at crossing small puddles like this. There's some yin yang thingy here. Oh, that set off some alarm. Did it? Oh, it killed me. And I know, probably in the real game I would have game over already, so... I guess this game is a lot more difficult than it shows here, because I have lots of lives too, because I want to explore the game a little bit. I like these things. And apparently I need to fire at them to... Oh, see, that thing carries quite far actually. So the enemy fire is really slow, and that's good. Gives me some time to react. Why did that thing not make a noise? And we have more goodies. But yeah, the gameplay feels really, really smooth. I think... Of course it's also very straightforward. It's just walking around and firing. There's no... like jumping mechanics or inventory system you have to cope with. So it's probably the easiest to control game of the modern Bitmap Brothers games. Oh, and my preacher came to teleport to join me. I think he does that when you sort of run away too far from him. Where was that stairs? It was here. Oh, did my preacher just... No, he didn't. My preacher just killed that enemy. Thank you, preacher. And we have the exit, but we can't use it yet because what? Because I have to destroy that tower, and of course he can't... I mean, I have a super weapon, but he can't aim up or down. I can only shoot straight ahead, which is also a bit... I don't know. That feels a little bit cheap, to be honest. But... But let's finish this world as well. In our very, very silent battle. Where's my preacher? Well, he will just come teleporting to me, probably. Yeah, I think as a kid I would probably be put off a bit by the sound effects. They could at least be a bit louder. It now sounds like some very, very distant explosion. And we have cleared 2 levels, so now it's time to upgrade. I was wondering, this is a Bitmap Brother game, where's the upgrade shop? And I can choose like extra lives or extra skill, health, some speed. And I can just go for a complete training, which cost me £375. And since I also pressed that button for lots of credits, I can do a complete training and then, okay. And I can do a weapon power up, yes please. And I can do 2 of them. And of course I can do the same for my preacher, which, yeah, I'll have him to do some complete training and I'll give him a more powerful weapon as well. Yeah, the shop has been done nice. And I'm wondering, why is the music not playing during the gameplay? It's probably because of all the graphics and the scrolling that they really needed all the CPU power, because even playing chiptune music will cost you some CPU. And I guess they were completely focusing on having the graphics right, and as a compromise they decided to not play in-game music. But I think with that music during the game it would have been even nicer. And of course we are in level 3 with 64 lives left, but remember I had like 71. So normally I would probably have gamed over. But I think if I practice this game a little more, yeah, I would probably get better. Oh, look at that upgrade. I would probably get better at it, and I would enjoy this game without cheats as well. I mean, it would be a bit more frustrating because I would probably die a few times in the first world before I even got to the second one. But yeah, it looks really nice. And of course, I'm not going to play through the whole game because we have been playing for quite a while already. What I am going to do is ask myself the question, is this a great game? And I have to... Oh, okay, that's not an enemy, that's my preacher. Is this a great game? And I would have to say yes. Yes, this is, because while someone was firing at me, and of course while I'm dying, well, I would have to say yes, this is a great game, because there's action, puzzle elements, it plays well with good progressive difficulty, and it looks really great. And despite the somewhat disappointing sound effects. I'm really enjoying this. I know I have to stop the video because it's getting too long, but I'm just really enjoying this. But, and I'm going to summarize here, this game has one huge problem. In 1992 another game was released on the PC that also had all of the things I just mentioned, but in a smooth and for the time very realistic 3D environment. Of course, I'm talking about Wolfenstein 3D. And of course this game still has some elements that would take several more years to find their way into the first-person shooters like Elevation and AI teammates, but in a way this game is really one of the last of its kind. It's a sort of Gauntlet and Time Bandit but on heavy steroids. It's the one last breath the ST took to show that it was indeed capable of very nice and enjoyable games. And even if we nowadays actually have some very impressive FPSs actually on the ST, I cannot help but feel a bit sad that 1993 was the year where games truly met the limit of what we all thought the 16-bit Motorola based hardware machines could do. And the ST was actually discontinued that same year, and even if the new Amigas were still putting up a brave fight, they were actually also discontinued a few years later, and the new area of capable PC hardware was coming, and even this great game could not stop it. And with that, I would like to end my Bitmap Brothers tour, and I would like to thank you for watching.